Hey everyone, welcome to week 2 of our virtual tip program. Today we're going to show you another virtual or digital resource that you have available to you. It's called the Lexis Digital Library. So this is a service that the school, the Cornell Law Library, subscribes to, that all of you do have access to. It's kind of outside of the Lexis Advance research system. So to access it, there'll be a link in the video or in the Google form below that you can link to. But the difference here is that your login is your NetID. So it'll ask you to log in with your normal, email school login, not your Lexis Advance ID, because it does again run through Cornell Law Library instead of Lexis Advance. But what's great about it for everyone is that they subscribe to all of our study aids. So if you guys are starting to prepare for exams, outlining, there's a bunch of good study aids here. So this is the main page. It's pretty easy to use. You can either search for a particular book or a subject. That will run a general search for whatever's available on the site. There's also over here on the right hand side a featured collections link. So again, if you're a 1L, you can click on 1L study aids, and the nice thing is they'll all kind of pop up. So the two most popular though are going to be our understanding series. That's more kind of hornbookish. So it gives you nice explanations of the concepts that you're talking about in class. And then the Q&A series right next to that is going to be more of exam prep questions. So there's I think at least 100 multiple choice questions, and then a bunch of essay questions in each of these books as well, all with sample answers that you can kind of go through. But the borrowing process is pretty easy. As you'll see, you can kind of look through the different options when you find one that you're interested in. So let's say civil procedure. You want to borrow the Q&A for that. You just click on the borrow button. You can check out up to 10 at a time, depending on the number of copies the school has. But now you've checked it out. It's now in your checkouts, and you can either download it into a kind of EPUB ebook format. So if you're on the go and you want to read, I don't think you're going to be on the go. You're supposed to be in quarantine, but if you happen to be out and about and want to study Q&As, you can do that. Or more popular probably is just reading it in your browser. You just click on that, and again it will open up the book. You can kind of scroll through to the table of contents is usually the best thing for that. Whatever questions you want to start working on. So let's say class actions, you want to start on that topic. It'll pop you into the class actions, and you can then go from there. On this page, you can also do things like annotate and kind of write notes and highlight and all kinds of stuff like that. If you're interested in doing that, every time you do check out a book, it kind of saves it in your account. So if you did happen to annotate or highlight, obviously when you check it back in, they're gone. But if you check that same book out later, all of your annotations and notes and things save. So it's kind of nice that way. So that's pretty much the checkout process. There is usually a limit in terms of how many copies the school has. So if you happen to come to the Q&A and it's checked out, those things some of them have expiration dates, so you're only allowed to do the Q&As for 24 hours. You can come in and recheck it out the next day if there's not too many people on hold. But you can also put it on hold, just like if you've done any sort of overdrive library method. So that's pretty much it. Again, a super useful resource. It's all free, so it's included obviously in your tuition because the law school pays for it. So I definitely highly suggest kind of poking in here and seeing what's available before you go out and buy a study aid, or maybe supplement what you maybe already have. If you have any questions about the system itself, you can either reach out to myself or the librarians know about it as well. The best resource is Peter Hook. He's the kind of the digital person in charge of this service. So you can certainly reach out to either of us. And then in addition to the 50 points for watching this video, there is an additional 300 points available if you want to follow the link in the Google form that will kind of point you to a little task that you can run through and show us that you've mastered the digital library. So that's optional. You're going to get 50 points no matter what, but you can add in an additional 300 by filling out that task. All right. Hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully you stay safe and healthy, and we'll talk to you next week.